Good afternoon. It is exactly a minute to 1 o'clock and you're in time for KTN Newsdesk, where news is brought to you as it happens. My name is Bonny Tunya on this third day of October 2013.
And my name is Edith Kimani. Here's a look at some of what we have prepared for you this afternoon.
Welcome to the program. The 4 police officers who were identified for going over and above their mandate, risking their lives to save shoppers who are stranded at the Westgate shopping mall, are in for a treat after the Voja Beach Resort extended an invite for an all-paid expense trip at the coast.
Now the 4, Aidan Iya, Stephen Lele, Taufik Baya and Benjamin Chemjor, were recognized for the help they accorded shoppers during the trying time at the Westgate Mall while they were trying to escape from the Westgate Mall after it came under attack from terrorists.
Where the government has been warned not to export any maize from the country for fear of an oncoming food shortage.
Farmers have raised concern that most of this year's maize plantation has been affected by diseases, thereby reducing the amount of bags produced in comparison, especially to previous years.
You heard the other day that Tanzania is facing a drought. The last time that there was drought in Tanzania, that drought spilled over to our country. And it spilled over because right now, the maize disease that we have has affected maize farming in our country. Meaning that this year, the number of bags that will come from our farms will be less. I am a farmer, and I know I've only done 10% of what I'm supposed to do because of the fear of that particular disease. I'm not the only one. So my request is for the government to ensure that right now, National Cereals and Produce Board, the mess that is there is cleared so that they are ready to purchase the maize, the little maize that is in the field.
Now, it was all smiles and joy for over 65 people with disability in North Rift after benefiting from wheelchairs and other assistive devices courtesy of the Niko Fiti campaign.
The campaign, sponsored by Kenyari and the Standard Group, took the caravan of the campaign to Eldoret town, where the disabled women and men benefited.
Now, the campaign aims to respond to the low level of awareness, especially with regard to different disabilities, which often lead to stigma and discrimination.
The campaign is also pushing the government to offer support to people with disabilities by providing funds that will enable them participate in economic activities.
Nimeshukuru sana kwa hawa wenye wamefanya hii kazi ya Kenyari. Mungu awasaidie sana na asidi kuwabariki, kwa sababu saa hizi nimepata kifaa ya shiko yenye atakuwa akitembea nayo, hata kwenda naye kanisa. Juu siendagi naye kanisa mpaka nikondese taksi. Hata saa hizi nimekondesa taksi kutoka nyumbani shilingi 500 ndio niweze kufika hapa.
Katika msaada ambayo nimepewa ya wheelchair itanisaidia kwa sababu naweza kumwacha at least sehemu fulani nikafanya kazi nyingine na niweze kurudi, na hawezi kuchoka kulala chini. Nambadilisha, akilala chini anarudi anakaa, nikibadilisha tu hata umia sana. Inaona hiyo itanisaidia sana.
But every year we spend a percentage of our profits. For this year we have set aside 21 million Kenya shillings And we will, at the end of it all, we will have provided assistive devices to over 300 people this year alone. But I said it is a 3-year campaign. Every new year we'll set aside a percentage of our profits, and we will continue providing devices.
Now, this afternoon, we intend to put a spotlight on the health sector in this country. Of course, this is coming just a few days before a major conference on nursing in the country. And I'm joined by Winnie Shena. Her middle name is so hard I can't say it on TV. She is from the National Nurses Association of Kenya. Winnie, karibu sana.
Thank you. Thank you.
Before we get to even the conference that is coming, Winnie, in the recent past, the nursing profession has come under serious criticism. I almost said attack. But then where did we get it wrong as far as nursing in the country goes?
I think when we left out the nursing fraternity in planning for healthcare,
right,
that's where we got it wrong. Because when you look at in the country, we have free maternity service.
Right.
The maternity units are packed with mothers, yet we still remain with the same number of workforce.
Right.
So that actually builds up stress and emotions that people are not able to deal with.
Right.
So when we leave out the nursing in workforce planning, health policies, that's where we get it wrong.
So Winnie, you're saying that the projects by the government and the expansion was good, but they didn't incorporate the factor of the people who will be doing this job in that particular expansion.
Exactly.
Right. You've also mentioned that part of the conference, what you do is try to, it's some form of peer encouragement in terms of innovation and building your profession. Tell me about that.
What we do is that as an association, we want to build capacity for our members. And our members come from both the public, the private, and the education sector. And therefore, we encourage our members to do operational research that comes up with innovations and strategies to deal with different challenges at the health sector. And therefore, we create a forum where they can come, present the papers, be challenged, share information, you know, give us updates on what is happening, and even get peer review from members.
Right.
Yeah.
So when you talk about this presentation, where does it end? I mean, do we see some of these papers actually actualized and you know, implemented?
Yes, we do. Some actually get implemented, some not. Because we have challenges as any other sector. Because of, in terms of capacity, resources, we're not able to implement.
Winnie, shouldn't this be a role of the academic institutions who are actually training these nurses in the first place?
They have their role, but as a professional association, we also have a mandate that we need to develop the profession. And part of development of the profession is to ensure we have research to produce evidence-based practice, and to ensure our members are updated with the latest evidence, you know, innovations and strategies for quality healthcare.
Earlier on, you mentioned that nurses were not involved in the planning of government projects in regards to health sector. Is this an avenue where the government can jump in, and how much is the involvement as it stands now?
It's an avenue, it's a window of opportunity that you actually involve the people who are going to do the work in the first place to plan how best can it be delivered. When you're talking about access, it's not just the number of women or men who come to the hospital, it's how that hospital can also go to them. People don't have to come to us. We can actually go to them. Yeah, skilled delivery is not about giving birth in a hospital. You can be conducted delivery by a skilled person outside the environment of a hospital. So we can look at many other avenues that actually conclude to access, not just making it free.
All right.
Yes.
Talking of access, let's bring in the money issue. And we do know right now, despite the many efforts done by the government in trying to make healthcare accessible to people, there are serious hurdles on the way. As a nursing association, what would be your proposal in the immediate term in regards to this?
I think they just need to employ people.
Is it as simple as that?
Yes. Employ nurses. Like I said, skilled personnel is not about coming to the hospital. You can call me to your house and I can come and give you care wherever you are. If a mother cannot, like for example, when you talk about access, WHO standard is 5 kilometers. But really, have we attained that as a country? We have made it free, but how many can get there? You need a taxi, you need form of transportation from your house to that place so that you can get it for free. But if I can't come to you, then what's the problem? There will not be a challenge.
Right. Winnie, of course, we're coming at a time where the government has made a lot of adjustments in the budgeting. What are other achievables that can be done? And if you're to look in the region, say Uganda, Tanzania, Kenya, and our neighbors who've done this before, who can we learn from, and what other thing, other than employment, what else can the government do to increase accessibility?
Actually, is partnering with the private sector, because 48% of health services actually is being rendered by the private sector. How do we partner? How do we bring them on board as equal partners in delivering of care? We only assume that when you talk about government, it's public.
Right.
But that perspective needs to change. We need to look at private sector. We need also to look at insurance, health insurance.
Right.
How do we make it easily accessible, affordable for each and every person to be able to access it, so that they can support us in creating infrastructure for our members, or even for families and communities to access health services.
Right.
Yeah.
There is also a bit of frustration. Nurses have been accused of negligence. What do you say to that?
Well, we are not all 100% pure and innocent.
What do you do to the other people that, bring shame to your
As
profession?
a professional association, we have a code of ethics and conduct. And for a person to call themselves a professional, then they ought to have innate ability to have discipline and regulation of yourself, per se, in terms of the way you conduct yourself.
Okay.
So we actually try and sensitize and empower members to have that ability to do the right thing at the right time. We promote professionalism by all means and condemn all forms of negligence. Yes.
You've just spoken there like government, but finally, free chance to make an ad.
Yeah.
What do you expect from the conference? What would be the outcome? What can the government draw from this?
Well, we expect nurses to attend, we expect government dignitaries to attend, we expect the private sector to attend, and what we are saying that we aim to achieve quality healthcare and efficient service delivery as envisioned in the Constitution.
Right.
And the Vision 2030. So we are saying we are equal partners, and if we can always partner and be consulted, then we can bring a lot of innovation on the table that can improve care in this country.
All right.
Yeah.
Winnie Shena, National Nurses Association of Kenya, many thanks for coming to the news desk.
Let's go to Homa Bay County, which has become the first devolved unit in the Nyanza region to commence a large-scale development project after investors from the Sultan of Oman concluded agreements that will see them invest about 500 billion in the county over the next 3 decades.
The county government held a project initiative ceremony in Riwa, Karachuonyo constituency to mark the establishment of a joint venture with Good Earth Power that will pave way for the creation of an agri-city next to the lake. KTN's Fred Omulo has all that report.
Good Earth Power, a firm founded by members of the powerful Zawawi family in Oman, is set to create an integrated city within Homa Bay County that will provide 100,000 homes to cover residential needs, 1,000 advanced greenhouses known as Nutridomes, and social amenities to cater for more than 1 million residents.
The project, and we provide world-class delivery to the people. And indeed, what the Senator said, from today onwards, the world will know Homa Bay is existing, and the world will know Homa Bay is working, and the world will know Homa Bay is the country of choice.
The agri-city aims to leverage on the county's strengths of agriculture and fisheries while creating an energy hub that will comfortably sustain the needs of the populace. It will also include an agricultural college and a green sewerage treatment plant.
Over the last 120 days, since the signing of our agreement in Nairobi, members of the Homa Bay Cabinet and Good Earth Power have worked tirelessly to put in place the foundation and structure for our vision for the future of Homa Bay County.
The project that will spread to the whole county commences on an abandoned 1,000-acre parcel of land that has been a traditional battleground between the Kakadimu and Kauma clans. The two clans have now surrendered their claims in favor of the project. For KTN Newsdesk, I am Fred Omulo.
The National Lands Commission has issued a stern warning to land grabbers and those that have encroached public land that they will be prosecuted unless they surrender the illegally acquired land. Now, speaking in Kisii, Lands Commissioner Samuel Torore noted that public land grabbing in Kisii County is on the rise, with most land grabbers from the private sector targeting land meant for the Kisii Cemetery rehabilitation, research, fire station, municipal market and recreation. Torore also urged Kisii County government to identify land which has been grabbed and report it to the commission.
But it's a very sad situation in Kisii where plots are grabbed left and right, including plots like this for the disadvantaged and special rehabilitation.
Whoever has taken public land, the train has left the station for repossession. The train will move slowly, but it will reach. You see, when you are a land grabber, you are either a fraudster or a corrupter of systems. And when we catch up with you, one way we will catch up with you is simply to declare that this is not your land and we kick you out. That's one very simple way.
County governments in the Coast region have expressed their willingness to partner with the Standard Group media as a tool to promote development, educate people and inform others in the counties of matters of county governance.
That is also including empowerment and utilization of resources. In a strategic series of meetings, the county leadership, institutions and companies within the coast, Standard Media Group paid courtesy calls to Kwale Governor Salim Mvurya, who not only expressed optimism in partnering with the media group as its partner, but also congratulated the media for highlighting vital matters affecting the county.
Let's talk business, and of course the stock market opened just about 3 hours ago. We'll be giving you all those details, but at the bottom of your screen you can see the figures of how exactly your money is working for you. Elsewhere, in the wake of unexpected terror attacks in Kenya, Clarkson Insurance Brokers Limited has introduced a terrorism insurance cover dubbed Supermoto that will offer a 0.25% rate. Now, speaking to KTN, Clarkson Insurance Managing Director Milka Mugo said the new package is set to provide compensation in the unfortunate event of riots, strikes and terrorism. Insurance experts have warned that most insurance companies in Kenya do not cover incidents such as terror.
Motor insurance policy has terrorism as a rider. We brought it in now as kind of one package, and that's why we are calling it the Supermoto package. It brings it in as a rule, as in you have to consider it before you execute the cover. In the past, we've been doing it as an exclusion, as a separate cover. But with this experience now, I think it's high time that we put it as one of the requirements in terms of, okay, it's by choice, but if we could make it as a requirement that we advise our clients beforehand.
We have not done pretty well to the expectation as an industry to actually ask them to take the terrorism cover. But now it's a reality, it's with us, and we'll do our best as an industry to advise Kenyans to take the cover.
We recap a story brought to you earlier where Kenya's natural resources, if well utilized, could spur tourism both at the local and international level. The mountain, hills and the rivers and more could be used to promote sporting activities and also help in stemming of the rise of lifestyle diseases that have now become common. The Kenya Wildlife Service, in partnership with the management of various game parks, have renovated facilities and diversified activities for Kenyans and the rest of the world. One such venture is the Aberdare National Park. Carol Derry has that story.
While health experts continue to warn Kenyans against leading sedentary lifestyles as this exposes them to lifestyle diseases, incorporating physical exercises is a safe bet against illness. On the other hand, Kenya has a lot to offer, and there is need to take advantage of the natural resources such as mountains for exercise, thereby killing two birds with one stone. Promoting local tourism through activities such as hiking and mountain climbing, canoeing, kayaking, fishing in designated fish lodges, bungee jumping, boot camps, horse riding, as well as keeping fit. A group of exercise enthusiasts took up the challenge of trekking 52 kilometers in the thick equatorial Aberdare forest. An exciting experience for them, both for those who actually made it and those who at least gave it a try.
I'm a first-time hiker, and it was a really challenging task. At some points, you know, when you're going up there, you're thinking, God, am I going to make it?
I bragged, I'll finish, because I've done Mount Kenya, I've done Mount Kilimanjaro, but I think the terrain differs. You need to be psychologically prepared.
The Aberdare National Park, which is known for its game drives, is now attracting scores of people coming to sample the sporting activities available as Kenya Wildlife Service opens up the diversification of the available resources.
Never really, actually it's my second time to be in Nyeri area. And but there's the vegetation, the way the conservation is pretty good.
Once you reach the peak, the view is beautiful. You get to see the country in a different light, and it felt nice. It felt great.
We value domestic tourists, and that we hand in that. We have also introduced a bus on weekends, so that those the citizens, the Kenyan citizens who intend to visit the park during weekends, can be able to get a ride.
According to Agri Maumo, who is the assistant director in charge of mountain conservation area, they have received 13,000 visitors to their badeas this season and are targeting about 25,000 of them. The newly renovated fishing lodge is a key attraction.
The fishing lodge was also rehabilitated, and I can report that in August we had the full capacity. It was booked throughout. Task camp is almost through. We hope that once through, then we shall have more visitors coming in because of increased capacity.
KWS is appealing to the government to speed up the construction of roads in these areas so as to boost tourism, which continues to be a major foreign exchange earner for Kenya.
It's very tough. It's not as easy as you think.
Carol Nderi for KTN at the Aberdare National Park.